What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me and Dustin for this
Mhm.
being our review for 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 8, Episode 8. A couple of things I want y'all to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So why don't you go ahead and mash it for a brother? Be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the various couples we'll be discussing on tonight's review. Be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. A couple quick announcements. I'll be releasing my reviews for Married to Medicine as well as The Real Housewives of Potomac tomorrow. So be on the lookout for those two videos. Thank you so much for the subscribers that are newly subscribed to my channel. I'm now up to let me pull up the number, up to 220 subscribers. So let's try to get that number up, you guys. Continue sharing JoJo Speaks with everyone that you know. Thank you guys for also commenting on my reviews of Married to Medicine and the Real Housewives of Potomac last week. Keep them coming. I got my boy Dustin back. Dustin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing better this week. I was having a rough had a rough week last week. Had a family emergency. So sorry I couldn't be here last week, but glad to be back this week.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you are back with me, Dustin. This was a decent episode, but let's get to these comments first and foremost. We got Lady Virgo in the building. Hey, Lady Virgo. Lady Virgo says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Lady Virgo. I'm so glad to see you in the comments for 90 Day Fiance, girl. Lady Virgo
Good.
also says to JoJo Speaks and Dustin Butler, hey, hey. Good evening to you, handsome fellas, and good evening to you as well, Lady Virgo. Love you so much for watching. And then we have Miss Auntie Robin in the building. Auntie Robin says, hey there to Lady Virgo. Thank y'all so much for joining us for our review. And then Auntie Robin has another comment up here for us. Let me read it and see what it says. And Auntie Robin also says down in the comments, I agree. This was a good episode. Yes, it was a good episode. Um,
This has been a good season so far. Been an awesome season so far. I know we're only at 8 episodes, but this has been a good season so far. Hmm.
I would agree. This has been my favorite season to cover for 90 Day Fiance. So yes, this has been a good season. Auntie Robin says, "Hey Dustin, glad you're back."
Good to
And
be back. Thank you. Hmm.
and I'm so glad that you're back as well, Dustin. And then Lady Virgo has another comment here. Once we get to that one, we'll get this show on the road. Um, Lady Virgo says to Auntie Robin, "Hey, hey, Robin, how are you? How are you staying warm, sis?" Yeah, because Auntie Robin is up in New York, and I believe Lady Virgo. I don't know where you are located, Lady Virgo. I think Lady Virgo is in New
It's
York as
cold
well.
here
But,
too.
anyways,
It's cold here. It's so cold here.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But I want to start out this review with Annalyn and Jovan. So Annalyn and Jovan have had an issue as far as Jovan being in contact with a woman that he was previously interested in. Now he did not date her. I don't believe that there was any sexual anything going on between them, but he was in contact with her because of the issues that he was having with Annalyn. So after they go on this like paddle boat type of thing. Then Annalyn asks Jovan to see his phone. She wants to make sure that he's kept his promise that he was not going to stay in contact with this woman. Now, Jovan was looking a little bit nervous when she was looking through that phone. So I was nervous for my boy Jovan because I'm rooting for Jovan, y'all. To be honest, like I'll just go ahead and put this out there now. I'm going to need Jovan to leave Annalyn. Annalyn is no good.
Me
Annalyn.
too.
There's nothing that Jovan can do. Absolutely, Dustin. There's nothing that Jovan can do to make Annalyn happy. Annalyn is
Mm-mm.
always going to find something wrong that Jovan is doing, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So she looks to his phone and she says, wow. And I'm like, oh, did she find something? All that Annalyn found were pictures of Jovan's dog and pictures that Annalyn has sent him. And so she says, okay, well, and I'm like, well, this has to be enough evidence for you to see that he's not doing anything wrong. Auntie Robin says down in the comments to Lady Virgo, I'm doing my best to stay warm. My hemoglobin is is hovering at a very low 6.7. So I freeze. I have the thermostat at 80 and have a space heater right next to me on high. Absolutely, y'all. When I was younger, I used to keep me a space heater going in my room, especially during the winter time. Like I used to always have my space heater going. My room used to be hot, hot, hot back in the day. Lady Virgo says to Dustin
I'm
Butler,
always hot. I'm always hot blooded anyway. So I'm
right.
always hot.
Lady Virgo says to Dustin Butler, I'm also glad you're feeling better. I had no idea you weren't feeling too well. Try and stay warm, Dustin. Shout out to Dustin for that. But yeah. So Jovan has been shown to be faithful with Annalyn,
Mm-hmm.
and Annalyn does not necessarily seem to be satisfied. They
Sure.
go out to have this kind of frozen dessert that has
Okay.
cheese and corn, and the desserts, they look okay to me. I'm not sure if I would necessarily want to eat it myself, but
No, I don't think so. I
right,
don't
I
think
guess it's a
so.
delicacy in the Philippines, and they do what they do. So I'm sure they enjoy it when they eat it. And anytime you're gonna give me corn, I'm going to eat the corn. So I probably would eat the corn dessert, just to be able to eat the corn, because corn is my favorite vegetable of all time. I can never have
Yes.
enough corn. Me personally, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's just my thing. Lady Virgo has another comment here, and she says to Auntie Robin, "Space heaters stay on all the time." Also, sis, my bones and joints can't take the cold either. Yeah, when I was younger, my eczema used to flare up really really bad whenever I got cold. So yeah, I used to say that I was allergic to cold, but that was just something me as a kid saying.
Do you do
Robin
you get it? Do you get any treatments for your eczema, Jonathan?
Actually, my eczema is no longer with me. I don't have eczema anymore. Now, like when I did have eczema when I was younger, the insides of my arms and my inner thighs used to be black because of all the scratching that I would do. But once I got into like middle school and then definitely into high school, the eczema had gone. So, I don't know if it's cured necessarily, but I don't currently have eczema. I don't have that itching issue anymore. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. But thank you for asking, Dustin.
That's
Auntie Robin says down in the comments that Anna Lynn chick really got on my good last on my goat last night. She is officially my least favorite.
sure.
I would agree with that, Auntie Robin. Anna Lynn is becoming my least favorite. I don't care for Anna Lynn whatsoever. Auntie Robin also says down in the comments to Lady Virgo, before been suffering with my rheumatoid issues for several months. Finally had an appointment with a new doctor, but it was virtually no relief from this
Mm-hmm.
pain. But I digress. I hope that you get much, 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 much better super soon, Auntie Robin. I really
Yes.
do, because I hate that you will not be feeling your best, and I want all of my girls and boys, for that matter, to feel their best at all
Mhm.
times. Lady Virgo also says, "Jojo speaks. Jojo, how you didn't realize I'm in New York also. I'm in Crooklyn. Okay, yeah, it just slipped my mind, Lady Virgo, for the time
Sure.
being. But yeah, I did remember that you are in New York. And so while they're having this dessert, um, while they're walking towards the place to get their dessert, the strap on Annalyn's sandal actually snaps off. And she asked Jovan if he would, carry her to their destination. And he was like, "Well, you're in a dress. I don't want to carry you in a dress and people can see up your dress." I understand why Jovan said that. And Anna Lynn's response was, "You're the most non-romantic person that I've ever met." And she's complaining and all this good stuff. So they get their desserts. They sit down at the table, and Annalyn says that Jovan's face, his countenance, is not looking pleasant. Me personally, like I just feel like that stink face. I don't think he was
Mm-hmm.
looking negative. I don't think he was looking any sort of type of different way. So I don't know why she would have picked up on that. Maybe Jovan needs to be smiling all the time in Annalyn's presence. I don't know what that was all about. But
Okay.
Jovan's response to that was, my countenance is not going to be pleasant all of the time. And, he says that Annalyn complains all the time when Jovan is sending her money every single month. And so it seems like there's nothing that Jovan can do that will please Annalyn. And I'm completely on Jovan's side with this because
I agree.
all, thank you so much for that, Dustin. All Annalyn has done is complain since we've seen her on this show. Auntie Robin also says, "Hey Dustin, how long will this marriage last? Does it or they make any sense to you?" So Dustin, do you want to answer that question? How long do you think Jovan and Annalyn's marriage will last, and do they
I
make
give
sense
it a
to you?
year. Mm-hmm.
What?
I'm doing the show. Hold on just a minute, Jonathan. I don't think I hear something. Good.
Okay. All right, no problem. But to answer your question, Auntie Robin, I personally don't think that their marriage will last long. I feel like Jovan is eventually going to get tired of dealing with Annalyn's BS. Because besides the fact that he was in contact with a woman that he was previously interested in, Jovan has not done anything else that is wrong to me. The fact that he didn't pick her up and carry her to the dessert place, I saw nothing wrong with that. Because of his reasoning, she was in a dress, and he didn't want anyone to be able to see up her dress. I completely understand that, and there have been men on 90 Day Fiance like Rob. No matter how fine he is, I felt like he didn't treat Sophie the right way. There have been men who have done worse things on 90 Day Fiance to cultivate that type of reaction. So I hope that Jovan leaves Anna Lynn.
Also, too.
And I hope that he gives her the same energy that she has been giving him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Anna Lynn is currently working. It doesn't seem like she's working. And it seems like Jovan was trying to push that point during this episode that I'm working hard. And, she said that he didn't remember their anniversary. And he's like, well, when I'm working, 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, a lot of times those things aren't at the top of my head. So therefore, it doesn't seem like there's anything that Jovan can do to make Annalyn happy. I'm going to get to these comments real quick, Dustin, and then I'm going to get your response to Lady Virgo's question. Lady Virgo says to Auntie Robin, "Me too. I have to see a rheumatologist. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Lady Virgo. I'm sorry. Also, there's no cure for our condition, just meds, and pain management and PT, physical therapy, I guess. We're doomed in the winter months. Yikes! I feel so bad for you guys, y'all. But y'all keep your heads up. Keep your heads up. I got one more comment from Auntie Robin, and then we'll get to your response, Dustin. And so Auntie Robin also says down in the comments, and she wasn't satisfied with him letting her see his phone to twat off her skepticism. Exactly. Like there's nothing that Jovan can do. And I don't understand women who will accuse their significant other of doing something, and when it's proven wrong, they're still not happy about it. Auntie
Mhm.
Robin also says here, last comment before we get back to you, Dustin, to Lady
Sure.
Virgo. So far, the only pain relief I get is from hmm, that must be the name of a medication, prednisone, and I can't take it long term because of my other stuff. Not Tylenol, not even Oxy. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lady Virgo, but I'm not Lady Virgo, but Auntie Robin. But I hope you can find a way to get some relief. So Dustin, do you think
Mhm.
that Jovan and Annalyn's marriage is going to last, and do they make sense to you as a couple, in your opinion?
No, they don't make sense as a couple, and I don't think it's going to last. But maybe within a year. Mm-hmm. Maybe within a
Right.
year.
Yeah.
I
What
don't.
do
I
you
don't think it's
think
going to
of
last.
What do you think of the fact that Jovan is doing all these things for Anna Lynn, and Anna Lynn seems not to be happy about anything that he's done for her, and it seems like she's always complaining. Does it seem like she's always complaining?
Feels like it. She does. Feels like she does complain a lot. hmm
Yeah. So
I don't.
I don't.
And I don't like somebody like I don't like I don't really like somebody like that.
Yeah,
That's
I wouldn't like that either. So let's move on to our next couple. Next couple
sure.
we got on the list is Trisha and Rick. So Trisha and Rick. There's not much that really necessarily happened between Trisha and Rick on this particular episode, but I'm always happy to see Rick's face. I think Rick is a very handsome man, and I love his personality, and I love the joy that he exudes while he's on camera. That's great. And so the main thing that stuck out to me with Rick and Trisha is that they do eat some food while they're out. And then Trisha brings up the fact that Rick is about to meet her family. And, he asked Trisha, what if you told them about me? And Trisha says pretty much nothing. She's told them nothing about her. She's told her family nothing about Rick. And then Trisha tells us, the viewers, to the camera, that her father does not want her dating someone. Now, Rick is 52, and Trisha's father is 50 years old. And so Trisha says that her father doesn't want her dating anyone who's older than him. That's one strike against Rick. She doesn't want her. He doesn't want her dating anyone who has been married and is now divorced. That's the second strike against Rick. And Trisha's father also does not want Trisha to be dating anyone who has a lot of kids. By my last count, Rick has 5 kids. So I don't know how this is going to go. And
It
I
ain't
will
gonna
be.
work out.
What was that, Dustin?
It ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would work out. Lady Virgo says down in the comments to Auntie Robin, I can't stand taking the prednisone. Yeah, prednisone. It blew me up to a whale. I'm already considered a big girl. That protozoan is a curse and blessing for us. Yeah, it's difficult to try to stay healthy, y'all. It is difficult sometimes to try to stay healthy, but shout out to y'all who are doing it and doing it well. And Lady Virgo and Auntie Robin, y'all are doing it well. Auntie Robin
Yes.
also says down here in the comments, Trisha and Rick won't work because he really does not want kids. Yeah, and that was another topic. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Auntie Robin. You always keep me on point, Auntie Robin, because I wasn't even going to talk about that conversation, but it is very important. So, Rick having 5 kids, he's honestly not interested in having any more kids. But Trisha says in her Madagascar tradition that it is very important for the women to have children, and she's telling Rick that she does want kids of her own with Rick. And Rick keeps putting it off and saying that let's talk about that another time. I really haven't made my decision on whether I want to have kids with you or not. And, he keeps putting it off. And I understand, he doesn't want to tell Trisha that he doesn't want any kids to keep the relationship going. But eventually you're going to have to tell her. And her reaction is not going to get any better the longer that you wait. So me personally, I know unless Rick gives in and has a child with Trisha, even though I really don't see that happening. I believe that his youngest are like in either 3, 4, or 5 in that age range. But it doesn't seem like Rick is interested in any way, shape, or form in having any more kids. So with the fact that he does not want to have kids, and also the fact that Trisha's father will more than likely not approve of her dating Rick, how do you think that this relationship is going to work out, Dustin?
But like I said, I don't think it's gonna work out. I can see it. I can see through it. I can see it falling apart. To be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna be together for the long haul, and I don't. I hope that she realizes that as well, because I don't think it's gonna work out.
How do you think her father is going to react to the fact that he's 52 years old, the fact that he's been married and divorced, and the fact that he has 5 kids? How do you think that's going to go?
He ain't gonna like that. To be
Yeah,
honest with you, I wouldn't like that either. I would not like that as well. Somebody with the same ages, you know, around the same ages. Well, thank you. That would be a red flag to me.
absolutely. Lady Virgo says down in the comments to JoJo Speaks, Protozone is a steroid. Um, a steroid taking for multiple conditions, usually usually for inflammation, flare-ups, but you know the side effects of any type of steroids. Unfortunately, yeah, steroids are typically one of the last things you. Well, I won't say one of the last things, but steroids typically have a lot of side effects because I've taken a lot of medication in my time due to my HIV diagnosis, and so thankfully I don't get side effects from my medication, but there are a lot of side effects when it comes to taking steroids, and so it's like either I don't know if it was Lady Virgo or Auntie Robin says, it's kind of a gift and a curse. So, just take it in stride and do the best that you can with what you got, you guys. So yeah, although I think Rick is a lovely man, although I think he's a very kind and nice man, I don't see things going well between Rick and Trisha. And I think Trisha's a nice girl too. She lights up the screen every time she's on screen. She seems like a lovely woman. I don't know why she wouldn't tell her father. Well, I understand why she wouldn't tell her father about Rick. But if you're going to pursue the relationship with him, and you know that he's going to have to meet your father eventually, why wouldn't you tell him this information before Rick meets your father? That makes absolutely no sense to me, and that makes me believe that Trisha wants Rick to tell her father about the fact that he is 52 years old, the fact that he's been married and is divorced, and the fact that he has 5 kids. And I don't like that whatsoever at all. Like, it's your job as his daughter, Trisha, to tell your father the information that is pertinent to him approving your relationship with Rick. And I can't get with that whatsoever. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens next time. So then we have Laura and Beer Con. So Laura finally meets two of Beer Con's best friends. And, you know, the, Laura asks her Beer Con's friends to tell them something interesting about Beer Con. And one of the friends, actually the female friend actually speaks English, so I thought that was great. But the male friend is like, "Well, can I say?" And then we are told that Beer Khan has a gambling problem.
Yeah.
He is a gambler. He says that he gambles every single day. He said once the pandemic hit, he was gambling quite often because of his debt. He was trying to be able to get up from under his debt, and I feel as though Laura is going to leave Beer Con once she finds out that he is a gambler. Auntie
I
Robin
think she
also
needs
says here
to.
down in the comments, yeah, I think it will be the best choice for her. I think Beer Khan is a very handsome man. I love seeing his face on the screen, but I don't think Laura's the right woman for him. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, "Yo, Beer Khan is a menace. She needs she needs to run like Forrest Gump, child." Yeah, Beer Khan. I don't know if I want to say that he's a menace, Auntie Robin, but that's because I just feel like he's so handsome. But he has no business being with Laura, that's for sure. And I do agree with you when you say, Auntie Robin, that she needs to run. Yes, she does need to run. And then another comment from Lady Virgo. Yes, yes, God bless you all in our health journeys. Auntie Robin, JoJo speaks. Dustin Butler. Let's see. Love you all. I love you guys dearly. We love you too, Lady Virgo. We love you to the moon and Batgirl. And then also,
We thank you for all
before
the comments as well, because the comments is a part of the show. So thank you very much for the comments, people.
absolutely. And the comments are actually my favorite part of the show. Reading you guys' comments and getting you guys feedback on what we're talking about is always my favorite part of the show. And so it's also discussed in the car before they get to meet Beer Khan's friends, that Laura wants Beer Khan to meet Michael. And Beer Khan is not interested in doing that whatsoever. And I think it's very interesting that Laura says that Michael has no interest in her romantically, when I feel as though she knows full and gosh darn well that Michael wants to be with Laura. Like, I don't know if she's just saying this because Laura seems to be an extremely intelligent woman to me.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why she would make a comment like she does not feel like Michael is romantically interested in her. Like we see that he was literally crying about the fact that they didn't work out, and so that didn't make much sense to me, and that lifted a red flag for me personally. Auntie Robin says down in the
Mhm.
comments, he ain't that good looking, Joe Nathan. Not cute enough for the hell he looks like he will bring. Well, yeah, I will say that that he's not as good looking as Emma's man. I can't remember what his name is. Um, yeah, I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, I still think he's a pretty handsome man though. Like I didn't say he was fine because he ain't fine. That's for sure, Auntie Robin. He ain't fine. I just said he was handsome, girl. But yeah, it's very interesting to me that Laura says that Michael is not romantically interested in her when we clearly see as an audience that Michael truly does care for Laura. And I feel as though Laura might think that the possibility of her being in a relationship with Michael is a no-go. And so she's allowing him to still be in her life as a friend, but she's not seeing the fact that he still is interested in her romantically. Dustin, do you think that Michael is still interested in Laura romantically? And do you think that Laura does not see it, or is it she ignoring that fact?
I think she, she knows that he is, and I think she's ignoring the facts. I don't think she
It,
sees the fact.
it definitely does seem that way. And what do you think is going to be Laura's reaction when Bircon reveals to her that he gambles quite a bit?
I don't think she's gonna like it. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't like it very much myself as well, Jonathan. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't think Laura's going to take it very well. Laura seems to be a very, very responsible type person who makes wise decisions for her life. She's a woman of a certain age, you know what I'm saying? She's got her stuff together. And she knows what she wants. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, Laura knows Michael is interested. She is just keeping him around as a backup. I agree with that wholeheartedly, Auntie Robin. Uh,
hmm
they're um, they'll end up together. I do believe that for sure, Auntie Robin. And I do think that she knows that Michael is interested in her romantically. And just as Auntie Robin says, I think she's just keeping him in her back pocket as a backup, just in case this whole relationship with Beercon doesn't work out. And if that's the case, so be it. But for me, I feel as though you should keep your intentions open to the people who are closest to you. And the two people that are closest to her, besides her family, are Michael and Beercon, and she's got to keep it real with them. And for her to be as mature as she is, not shading her age or anything like that, but the decisions that she makes and her reactions, excuse me, I'm sorry, to the different things that Beer Khan has done, makes it seem as though she's a very mature woman. And so I would assume that she would just keep it real with Beer Khan and be like, well, I understand why she wouldn't want to tell Beer Khan that Michael is interested in her. You wouldn't want that to happen, but
Nope.
it's just very immature, at least to me, to be stringing Michael along, because that's literally what she's doing. She's stringing Michael along for the ride, for him to wait. And of course, Michael is going to wait for Laura. I mean, and to me, that is manipulation, at least in my opinion. But anyways, let's move on to Forrest and Sheena. So I have to eat a little bit of humble pie, you guys, because I was getting really, 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 really down on Forrest's mother. I was
I
thinking
was
that
too.
you're right, because I was thinking that Sheena was telling the truth. I didn't think that Sheena would be the type to tell a lie for no reason, and that is what we found out in this episode. So Forrest's mother asked, and it's actually Sheena's father and her sister. I said last week that I was her aunt. There's actually her sister that they're seeing there in the Philippines. And so Forrest's mother says to Sheena's father and her sister, "Well, Sheena's told us that if she doesn't give you guys money, that you will disown her, that you will kick her out of the house, that you'll do this and you'll do that." And she painted this picture as if you're these bad people. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, the minute you give me ultimatum, let's see here. I'm wrapping myself in a red flag. Then I'm exiting stage laceful. stage. Hold on, let me take a picture of this once again. Hold on. Yeah, let's see. And then Auntie Robin has another comment here. Let me pull it up. Auntie Robin also says here down in the comments, didn't get that one. Hold please. There we go. Auntie Robin also says down here in the comments, I was surprised that Forrest's mom wasn't overbearing and rude. Yeah, I was surprised about that as well. And then Auntie Robin says left. Thank you so much for clearing that up for me, Auntie Robin. And so yes, Forrest's mother, I left, she said. Then Forrest's mother, she's telling, she's telling Sheena's father and her sister, she's telling us all these horrible things about you guys, and that's why we have these issues. And Sheena's father's like, you told them that, and then Sheena gets to crying. And I have to tell you, when I say that I am tired of seeing Sheena cry, I feel as though she uses crying as a manipulation mechanism to make people feel sorry for her when she gets caught up in something that she knows that she's done wrongfully. And I don't, and you know what? I was getting on Forrest's mother for, jumping down Sheena's throat when she was giving her reason for giving her parents money, saying that is part of our tradition, that children typically take care of their parents in the Philippines. And, I was getting down her throat, but now I still don't know the reason why Sheena is still giving her father and her mother so much money. Like that question has yet to be answered. And so I have to
She
eat my
said it was
humble pie and say that Forrest's mother was right. That Sheena continues to lie and lying for no reason. Like, if you have a valid reason for if you literally just want to give money to your parents out of the kindness of your heart, still and yet knowing that you're supposed to be saving up money for you and Forrest's future, then just keep it real and say that. I feel like Sheena feels as though she's between a rock and a hard place because she wants to save money for her and Forrest's relationship. However, she still wants to help her parents out. And that's okay. It's just that you have to try to find a balance within doing those things. And so I'm starting not to like Sheena. I loved Sheena when we first met her, but Sheena's going down on the list for me. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, Sheena is good at rustling up some tears. Absolutely, she's doing it all the time. Since they're both on TLC, she should get she should get in touch with Robin Brown from Sister Wives to show her how to make the tears flow. Yes, Sheena is crying on cue, and it's like I don't wish that I could be able to do that, but there are so many people out here who are able to just cry on cue with no. I don't know how that happens. Auntie Robin also says on every episode of Sister Wives, Robin cries, no tears. Wow, that's crazy. I don't watch Sister Wives, but I don't know if it's a good show. Let me know if it's a good show, Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin also says, yes, Sheena is in the timeout corner for sure. And I feel as though this is going to make Forrest's mother feel even worse about Sheena being in a relationship with her son. But again, Sheena has done this to herself. I love the fact that excuse me, I love the fact that Forrest was bold enough to ask Sheena's father, if we ask you, because Sheena's father actually said that the money that Sheena has given to them was a loan. They consider it a loan. And so then Forrest asked, well, would you be willing to give us the money back when we need it? And, Sheena's father sort of kind of gave a roundabout answer, saying a lot of but then he said, yes, absolutely. We can I'd have to look into my finances, but we can definitely make that happen. And so, Dustin, what are you thinking about the way that Sheena has been lying about the fact that she's been giving her parents money and then has the ability to cry at the drop of a dime, to sort of kind of escape accountability?
I don't like it. I don't like Sheena after this. I don't like Sheena. Uh, I don't. I don't like somebody that don't tell the truth from the beginning. So that's just me. You know, if a lot of people don't agree with me, that's just my opinion. Uh, I don't like that. So you know what I mean. You you either tell the truth or don't say nothing at all. Hmm.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know how the culture is in Asia, but I felt as though I expected more of a reaction out of Sheena's father and sister when they heard what Sheena had been saying about them. Like, I expected them to react a little bit more and be a little bit more disgusted. But for Sheena's sake, I guess is good. They are disappointed. They did say that they were very hurt by the fact that Sheena has said these things, and to make them seem as though they are these horrible people to do that to your own family, like, I don't know how she could bring herself to do that. I would never be able to say those things about my family or even my friends for that matter if they haven't, given me a reason to say those types of things about them. Like, to me, I can't stand that. And she just she seems, emphasis on seems, she seems like a nice woman, but for her to say those things about her parents, those ugly things about her parents, I'm sorry, I can't get with that whatsoever. And I do think that she does care and care for and love Forrest, but the way that she's going about, her decision making is making me, wave all the red flags for Sheena. Let's move on to our final couple, Daniel and Lisa. This was the cringiest part of the episode for me. Um,
Yes.
Extremely cringy for me. So Lisa has to, wrap her head in this African garb. She also has to create a skirt for herself, and she's wearing this nice white top, and she can't wrap the wrap around her head, and so she asked for Daniel to do it for her. So, anyways, and so he shows and shows Lisa how they're going to present the wine to his uncle because they're going to meet his uncle to get his blessing for their marriage, which I
I
still
got two
believe
copies of
that
your
Lisa and
artist
Daniel are going to
certificate.
get married by the end of the season. I'm putting that out there. I fully believe it's going to happen. That is if she doesn't tell him about her lesbianism, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I know she's going to have to tell him eventually, but I'm thinking that she's going to wait until after they're married to tell him. I
Hmm.
don't know if that's going to be the case, but anyways, and
Yeah.
so he shows her how they're going to kneel before her uncle, his uncle, Daniel's uncle, and present the wine to him. And it seems like it's going to go well. Auntie Robin says down here in the comments, cringy is. That is very kind of you. At one point, my stomach turned. Yeah, they are too over the top for me. She is too let's see, differential, and he is too mean and controlling. Yeah, every time they kiss, like, it's just, oh Lord, I can't stand it. But anyways, and uh so they go to meet Daniel's uncle, and they when they walk up, they start to walk up to him, and he's like, kneel, you need to kneel. You don't know about your own tradition, Daniel? You need to kneel. And so they both kneel, and they present the wine to him. And Daniel's uncle asks Sheena about herself, and so Sheena
Hey, Aaron.
says some facts about herself. We have Aaron D in the building. Says hi everyone. Hi Aaron D. So glad that you're here, my love. So glad that you are here. Lady Virgo has a laughing emoji here. Um, let's see here. And so Aaron has another comment here. Let me see what Aaron says. Aaron says hi to Robin. And then Robin says he doesn't love her. He loves the idea that she is his ticket to America. I do believe that. I do believe he's putting on to be with Lisa. Aaron says hi to Lady Virgo, and then Lady Virgo says hi to Aaron. And then we got one more comment from Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin says hi to Aaron and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you watching. I'm so glad that you three ladies are here with me. Feels like a
Yeah.
family reunion. But anyways, and so um, Lisa tells Daniel's uncle about herself. He then asks Lisa if she's a practicing Christian. And she says yes. She said that she's not the best Christian, but she says that Daniel keeps her in line with her religion. Not exactly sure how true that is, but it is what it is. Then Daniel's uncle asked Lisa if she smokes. She said that she doesn't smoke anymore. She said that she's quit smoking. Now, he didn't ask her specifically about vaping. Maybe Daniel's uncle doesn't know what vaping is or doesn't know about vaping. So I'm assuming, because I'm sure if he knew about vaping, he would have asked her about that as well. And she would have had to say yes. So and then Daniel's uncle asked her if she practices lesbianism. And it turns out that Daniel has actually already told his uncle that Lisa had a one-time fling with a woman before. And in the culture and the tradition in Nigeria, that is a no-go. They they're not accepting of those in the LGBTQIA plus community.
Hmm.
They're in Lagos, Nigeria, which I think is a very sad thing, but it's not surprising to me. I saw this coming from a mile away.
I
Um,
did too.
and so Lisa says that she is feeling very weird. She doesn't know how to feel at this point. She feels awkward. And then Daniel's uncle asks her if she lies, she's a liar. And then Lisa says her answer is so funny to me. She says, yes, I tell a fib, here and there, but the culture in America is different. I guess she was saying the culture in America is different as it pertains to lying. I don't know how much sense that makes. A lie is a lie
That
is
don't
a
make
lie
no
is a
sense.
lie, no matter where you live. A lie is a lie. Period. Point blank. But anyways, that's Lisa's mindset, whatever the case might be. I don't know if I who I like least, Lisa or Anna Lynn. I don't know who I like.
Both of
I guess
them.
I guess I like Anna Lynn worse than I do Lisa, but I really don't like either one of them. But
I don't
anyways,
either.
and so yeah, I understand that, Dustin, for sure. But Daniel's uncle does eventually give them give them his blessing. Lisa is
Mm.
crying throughout this entire thing. She's not boohoo crying, but she's got tears running down her face the entire time. And once again, I think that's the guilt that she's feeling for lying to Daniel. So that leads me to believe that I have no idea how she's going to bring up the fact that she's been a practicing lesbian for the last 20 years and that she has been married to three different women and is still legally married to a woman while they are currently filming,
Yeah.
while they were filming at the time when she was in Nigeria. So I'm very interested, excuse me, in seeing what Daniel's reaction is going to be. What I don't know is if Lisa is going to give him the entire spill that she's been practicing lesbian for 20 years, the entire spill that she's been married to three different women, and the entire spill that she is still legally married now. Like, I have a feeling that she's going to not tell him everything, but we'll see when we get there if she does. I don't believe that she will, but whether she does or not, once we get to the tell-all, Daniel's going to know all of it because more than likely the tell-all will be Auntie Robin says down in the comments, bless you, Dustin. Um, but by the time that they film the tell-all, um, these episodes should have aired, so Daniel should be well aware of what's going on here. So
Yeah.
Dustin, what were your thoughts on the whole blessing ceremony? What were your thoughts on Lisa sort of kind of lying to Daniel's uncle? And how is it that you feel Daniel's going to react to her spilling the beans about her past?
I don't think that he's going to take it well. I don't think that. I don't know if this is going to work out this whole entire season so far. Um, it's been very eye-opening to me to see this like this. So I don't really know what to expect the whole entire season. To be honest.
Right. Yeah. And we also see for the preview for the next episode, Rick is finally going to reveal what happened in Colombia, what allegedly happened in Colombia, because I don't know if it's necessarily true or not, but what allegedly happened in Colombia with his ex on the next episode. Also, Lisa is clearly having some issues with her wig, and so she's not able to wear her wig. So she goes downstairs, and seeing Daniel's face, it seems like he's kind of worried when he sees her. So I don't know if he knew that Lisa was wearing a wig, because to me it seems like he didn't know that she was wearing a wig, from judging from his reaction to seeing her without one. So it seems like this is going to be a good next episode. This has been a great season, you guys, a great season. And Aaron, I don't know if you've been watching, Aaron, but please watch this season. This is a great season of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 Days season 8. It is awesome. Before we get out of here, Dustin, why don't you give the people your social media contacts real quick?
My social media contact is Dustin Butler 700. My Instagram, my Facebook is Dustin Butler. And thank you for always being here, as always, the whole entire team.
Of course, Dustin, you're very welcome. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Jojo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $JonathanLee07. That's $JonathanLee07. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, last comment here, he knew about the wig. Oh, okay. She said that he saw her without it, but preferred the wig. Okay, yeah, I forgot that she told us earlier in the season that he knows that she wears wigs. So thank you so much for that, Auntie Robin. Auntie Robin, HR always keeping me on point. I appreciate that so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I loved you guys being in the comments. Auntie Robin, Lady Virgo, Aaron D, love you girls with all of my heart. I'm so glad that you guys joined me for join myself and Dustin for this review. Be sure to join me on Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. The show last week was awesome, just as great as the week before. So please be sure to join me this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. for my Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. See you guys later. Stay safe out there.